I am Uganda Martyrs University in Kozi, and I am located at the equator. Quality to me is a way of life, and I am celebrating 25 years of excellence in the footsteps of the Uganda Martyrs. From 1993,
Uganda Martyrs University Jubilee Celebrations. In central Uganda, along Kampala-Masaka Highway at the equator, lies an academic giant, a jewel of education right in its youthful age of 25. This is Uganda Martyrs University, WUMU, established in 1993 by the Uganda Episcopal Conference. But how did the Uganda Martyrs University, WUMU, come to be? The White Missionary Sisters of Our Lady of Africa were the founders of St. Joseph's Primary Teachers College in Kozi, which was set up to cater for the training of women primary teachers of the vernacular grade. The construction started in 1939 and the opening took place in 1940. In 1962, they handed over the management of then Primary Teachers College to the Sacred Heart Sisters from the Irish province at the invitation of the late Archbishop Joseph Chiwanuka. During the course of 1983, the college was turned into National Teachers College Nkozi for the education of secondary school teachers. It progressed time after time, posting hundreds of thousands of personnel to the education services market, a legacy that lives to date. Archbishop Joseph Chiwanuka, the first African bishop south of the Sahara, then conceived the idea of having a Catholic university built on the strong foundations and principles of the church, but this took a while. It was an idea birthed and nurtured and never buried.
At this university, we started it with the help of the lay people who felt that we should have an institution, knowing that we have so many secondary schools high, and why not have also the crown as university. And the purpose was to form people, to train people who would be what we call leaders, to lead the world in virtue.
I was one of the people who were nominated by the Kampala Archdiocese to establish a Catholic university.
In 1986, some Catholic professors from Makerere University, led by Professor Sebastian Chalwazi, met to give fresh breath to the idea of starting a Catholic university. John Baptist Muganga attended the very first meetings that mothered today's bouncing education star.
So that was the beginning of the whole story. And we preparatory meetings and ideas started because we were now legal, could start doing practical things.
They would then write down the idea and begin processes that formalized the proposal that was presented to the Uganda Episcopal Conference for debate, review, and approval. The idea was blessed, and on October 18, 1993, a university was born and would be named after the Uganda Martyrs, hence Uganda Martyrs University, WUMU.
While that Kisubi did not materialize, then we went through other different institutions, Catholic institutions, and after going through so many of them, we eventually zeroed on Nkozi TTC as the most suitable site for the Catholic University.
With unprecedented determination, the soul searching began and would see Professor Michel Lujan become the pioneer vice-chancellor of the Uganda Martyrs University with an interesting team of staff.
With 82 students and 7 staff members. I was the vice-chancellor, I was the dean of a faculty, and I was professor of ethics.
A lot of renovation works was done, like that many administration block, the Michael Hall Laundry, the auditorium building, and many others.
I happened to arrive here as the first student simply because the university was postponed. The official opening was postponed to October. Unfortunately, I did not receive the communication for the postponement. So I arrived here much earlier than the rest of the students, and I began my life as a student of Uganda Martyrs University.
It has remained alive and healthy since then. Uganda Martyrs University, popularly known as WUMU, is celebrating 25 years of existence and success, a stock-taking activity to document and cement achievements project into the future. This is the Silver Jubilee celebration.
As the steering committee, our job is mainly to link the university to the stakeholders outside the main university so that we give this event a national and international character.
I entered Uganda Martyrs University on 18th October 1993 among the pioneer students. At that time we were a small number, only 84 of us. The university was starting, but it was a beautiful place, though it was a bit, bit bushel, shackled and whatever, because it was being transformed from the previous college. But the university had prospects. That's I could say. At that time we saw the university's prospects. We were a small family, united, with a very strong leadership of the Vice Chancellor and his staff, who were really committed to transforming us. It was a prospective place that we started at Nkozi.
It was a very exciting experience. It was also a very challenging experience. Challenging the fact that there was no culture, there was no system established for a university, and therefore we had to become part of the establishment of a system, of a culture for this university in the areas of student life, life in sports, social life, religious life, among others.
A look at the 25 years is energizing. It is a moment to peak more strength, to grow to greater heights, a deserving celebration of the wise ideas and immense efforts of the founders, and a reward to the church and the country's human resource.
I'm indeed very, very proud that what we started has been materialized. First of all, the mission of the university, of the Catholic University, has been achieved.
His Grace John Baptist Odama is the sitting Chancellor of the Uganda Martyrs University and Chairman of the Uganda Episcopal Conference that owns and supervises this great institution. Bishop Odama is satisfied that UMU has produced graduates with market-demanded skills for national development, the church's support to all-round transformation of society.
But our pride as a Catholic university, and we as the bishops and the people who are Catholics, they are proud of this university because they produce quality people. People who are reliable, people of integrity, people who love their nation, to serve their nation with that passion and with, as I call it, integrity. And most of the programs that are arranged, they are covered. People take them seriously and they provide the personnel we need for this country. As far as I'm aware, this university has not had real people who qualify there and are left unemployed.
The founders of this university and the ownership of this university make it unique. That's why you find in their slogan, we are talking about virtue and wisdom. Virtue is something that we need and we take very seriously as stakeholders of Uganda Martyrs University.
Uganda Martyrs University is the largest and most beautiful single home in Nkozi village in present-day Mpigi district of the traditional county of Mawokota. and perhaps the most morally upright as well, hosting guests after guests. Who else can tell the 25-year-long journey any better than the pioneer students and employees whose memories of the humble yet resilient beginning are ever fresh?
One of the things I used to tell them, listen, you're no longer in secondary school. You come into university. It's a total change in your life. I'm giving you total freedom to do whatever you want. I'm putting a string around your neck, which is very, very long. It's up to you to strangle yourself or not. Use that string intelligently. Use your freedom intelligently. If you're not intelligent, you're going to choke yourself. They never forgot that.
The people here should celebrate the university have grown up. So I've opened up so many branches. At first it was one here in Nkozi, but now have branches in Masakambale, Kavale, Lila, and so on. So that was a very good achievement.
The role of the support staff has been equivocal in running UMU through the Jubilee, thanks to the men and women whose efforts have been enlisted as pivotal. Several infrastructural developments have been completed, giving enough space and an environment conducive for learning. UMU is prized as a prestigious institution of higher learning. The once written idea is now the site of the more than sufficient infrastructure and sagging student population.
In fact, our plan has been to double that number in 5 years to 10,000 students, and it has been growing steadily, but I think we need to do more to double that number, keeping in mind that when you double the number of students, you have also to increase on infrastructure. You have to be cautious of issues of staff, the human resource personnel. It has to move in tandem. Otherwise, if you just double the numbers, you can end up even compromising on the quality, which has been our sense of success.
But the future plans are bigger. We are outsourcing. We have our neighboring school, social center. We rent 80 rooms. We have St. Michael, the hospital down there. We use their facilities. So the location favors us to leverage with our partners within the neighborhood, which is very good.
Uganda Martyrs University in Nkozi. I think one of the best things they've really had is good governance. It is stable. They've had very good academic leaders, all senior professors, and it explains why they are very organized. It explains why their programs are well done. It explains why they are attracting many students. It explains why they are growing with very little hiccups. And for me, I am very happy with Uganda Martyrs University as an example of a private institution which has been chartered.
These achievements over the years are the pride of the founders, Government of Uganda and Buganda Kingdom that hosts WUMU.
The Uganda Martyrs University is one of the private universities which the public believes is offering quality education to the citizens of this country. So, as you know, we've got so many private universities. Some people say some universities are universities in name, but that difference is not with regard to the Uganda Martyrs University. So I'm very proud of associating with the university, and we are thankful that the 25 years have been years of excellence.
Congratulate the university for this 25 years move since they started the Jubilee. We call it Silver Jubilee for this university. And people have been watching, I have been watching, they are moving for the 25 years because I was in the country when it started. I must say I've been impressed with what they have been doing for the last 25 years. There has been progress. the people have not hesitated, or it has not hesitated in its move. So I say congratulations for what you have done for the 25 years, and as far as the education is concerned.
The gains have been loud enough beyond Uganda's borders. UMU is home to hundreds of thousands of students from within Uganda and neighbors. This is the massive growth in population, academic excellency and reach.
The growth of Uganda Martyrs University is worth this celebration because it is substantial. Because for now you will find that Uganda Martyrs University, in line with its mission that it wants to be an institution that is nationally and internationally recognized by teaching, research, you realize that we are heading there, and we are almost there. Because for now you will realize that we do not have only Ugandans in this university. It has grown even to other East African countries. They all bring students here.
To achieve the above, the church has laid a strong foundation, building UMU with exceptional attention to morality embedded in the spiritual orientation of both staff and the student community.
You know, when Jesus was asked by Pilate, because he said, I came to witness to the truth. And Pilate asked him, what is the truth? And that question has remained for all leaders to answer. And part of the vision of this university is to witness to the truth. We thank God that Uganda Martyrs is named after, is the name for that university. Because these are the people who witness to the truth, witnessing to Christ in as far as is promoting the human value. Authentic human being should look like him.
To this end, UMU stands out as one of those strike-free universities in Uganda. But how has this been achieved?
Many of the students we have here choose to come to Uganda Martyrs University because of the unique nature that we have. As we move towards celebrating 25 years of service, we are one of the universities in Uganda, I might say, that has kept that record of having very disciplined students.
Participate in the decision-making process. The staff participate in the decision-making process. And if you have made the decision, how do you go and strike against the decision you have made? Yeah? And the other thing that we stressed over and over again is teamwork and the characteristics of a winning team.
Mr. Moses Kibrai, UMU's Deputy Vice Chancellor, Finance and Administration, broadly discusses the growing challenges of the university education today. Perhaps his correct diagnosis is aided the timely prevention of the hazards.
Persons that form this tripartite perform their roles well. Even the people at the policy level will not have a problem. The policy here, I'm talking of police as the National Council for Higher Education, would not have a problem if the university, the student, and those that finance the university education do their part well. The regulatory body will have very, very little work to do.
Any education institution, including universities, should help the individual to develop their capacities, which are like God-given. If someone is an artist, he should not be drawn into something which is not going to help him to develop his artistic gift. Or if one is a good speaker, you may not be good at business, so why don't they go into mass media and do what is best for them? So this is something which we are conscious about.
The government of the Republic of Uganda granted UMU a charter following a rigorous process, but they were satisfied that the fast-going institution was fit to train, supply the country and beyond with the necessary human resource.
When you want to start it, they call you. And you know by that time that the cause was now the government. The government college. It had been founded by the church long ago, but in the 1960s, the government had made a number of all these schools. They put those on the wall. So, I don't know what, I have not read the booklet. I don't know what they said about the authorship of Ugozi University.
It has greatly enforced and safeguarded academic standards, emphasizing impact, focused and transformative education, giving meaning to university education. Students enjoy their kingly position at UMU, yet remain true to the moral and ethical expectations.
A student will know how to conduct himself, how and from where. So we just teach them that value, but we don't restrict them as people say.
Personally, I appreciate so much the way we do our things here, because we do believe in what we call negotiation here. And as stakeholders of the university, we are free to lay out our views, but also to exchange with the authorities, and we come up to a common ground, to an agreement. That is how we do our things. So the environment is friendly, and we cooperate so much.
It is costly establishing and maintaining a university, and to many, it is a tall order. But hey, not Uganda Martyrs University.
Our budgets have grown over the years. We started with a very, very small budget. Today we are talking of close to 19 billion. And this 19 billion, we are so generous that we are running up to about 7 campuses. And this 19 billion is able to cover all the 9 campuses. How do we finance it? Our major source of revenue is still tuition paid by the students. That is the major. But of recent, we have started an aggressive approach to diversify. And we have managed to get now out of 100% of our revenue, up to about 15 to 16% is coming from other sources. We want to reduce this dependence from currently about 85% to about 60% in about 3 years.
The landmarks of the Silver Jubilee are bold. The Jubilee celebrations are a stock-taking exercise, a public audit green-lighted by the fast-tracking of the inception objectives.
Now my appeal would be this. A popular university like this, we need also sponsors for candidates or students going to this university, and also for supporting some of the departments, even in supporting for the expenditures of this university.
Focus on the next 25-year journey is characterized with the look at major projects launching WUMU into the next long trek, a fresh resolve into the future, characterized with Uganda Martyrs University, WUMU.
And here we have a complex. There are 4 blocks, and each of these blocks is a complex in itself. We are going to begin with this block, which we named the postgraduate block, to host the students who are doing masters. A lot of students who are doing masters will be here, and some of the PhDs. And here we will have also the computer labs, the advanced computer labs and labs, science labs, to take care of their research needs and whatever they need there.
The next generation is driven by information and communication technology and heavy investment in research dissemination and consumption. Sister Dr. Elizabeth Namazi strongly believes WUMU is never been equipped and ready than it is now.
Research in this university, like one of the core activities of a university, has been given a lot of attention. It has been progressive, given from the time the university started, but I can say that right now it is being given maximum attention, in a sense that staff and students are really encouraged to engage in research, to carry out publication, and to do investigation. Management as an administrative unit also gives a lot of importance to research, in a sense that it allocates a substantial amount of fund to research, and this fund is given to staff to engage in research. Staff are encouraged to pair up in groups so that they can engage in particular areas of interest as a group and carry out research, and these groups are normally funded.
The Silver Jubilee celebrations have been a pause of a nice song for better listening. More is yet to come. The next track is well prepared, or so it is.
That has been a great achievement for Uganda Martyrs University has been our taking advantage of wireless technologies. For most of our campuses, students are able to access internet using wireless technologies. And as we all know, most of the technologies that we have now are smartphones, are Wi-Fi compliant. So this gives very ready access.
Monumental projects set to mark the Silver Jubilee celebrations have been on course and raise hope for a better WUMU, as Mr. Gavas Ndianabo explains.
We agreed that as part of this major celebration, we should have something to remember about the Silver Jubilee of Uganda Martyrs University. And that's why we have agreed on a structure, on a building at the Rubaga campus. Where we need a lot of work is to mobilize more stakeholders to come together to embrace this in terms of supporting the construction, the fundraising, but also we need to raise more awareness about the values of Uganda Martyrs University and the importance of this university.
We have over 16,000 alumni who have gone through Uganda Martyrs University, and according to feedback of employers, they are satisfied with their services. In fact, we are very happy with these alumni. So we are going to celebrate that. That one is a key a landmark. That at least there's some products there, and actually they are spearheading the celebration.
Uganda Martyrs University, the place to be for your university education, is a hospitable host, loads guests with goodies, perhaps to keep them forever. You never want to say goodbye.
I served here for so long because that department has so many learning processes. We get a lot of refreshing courses, accounting systems, we change from Tally, Sun system, and so on. So that one has kept me here for so long. It is a learning process.
A task without a vision is drudgery. Okay, is drudgery. But a vision with a task can change the world. And I sincerely believe that we had a vision and we had a task. And therefore, the two combined would make Uganda Martyrs University change the world.
Emmanuel Cardinal Wamala was then chaplain at the Makerere University when meetings began for the establishment of WUMU. He later became Archbishop of Kampala Diocese and Cardinal when the project took ground. He is always proud of WUMU.
We continue, and the institution will grow from strength to strength. And I pray that alumni will love their alma mater and will also contribute to its growing and strength in every way. Congratulations and many years of success of Nkozi Uganda Martyrs University.
We shine like a star and we take it over. Uganda, you're now older, I'm making 25, Nkozi 25, yeah, growing older and stronger. Happy 25, Umu 25, yeah, making a difference.